All right, good day. Welcome to this transmission, which we have titled Piercing the Veil. Many of you are beginning to understand that as you raise your vibration, that you make yourself a better receiver, a better antenna for receiving communications from the spirit world, information from spirit guides, from your soul team, angelic beings, soul family, extraterrestrials, extradimensionals. But also, not only will we be talking about the idea of a couple of techniques you can use to not only raise your vibration, but to make it easier for you to receive communications more clearly from your spirit team, but also to let you know that as you approach the timing more and more for open contact, because of the nature of the extraterrestrial beings that you will begin to interact with, who operate on a very high frequency, the fact that you are even just approaching the idea of open contact will bring with it the kind of energy that will allow, at this time, the veil between your physical and non-physical realities to become thinner and thinner, just by the nature of the fact that you are approaching open contact. It starts to thin the veil and allow you to begin to experience that there is not that much difference, ultimately, between non-physical and physical reality, since physical reality is a projection of your consciousness within your soul anyway. So as you get closer and closer, day by day, week by week, month by month, to open contact and the exposure to the higher frequencies of the extraterrestrials that will begin to openly interact with you, you will find that the veil will become thinner and thinner, and that you will start to experience more communication from the spirit realm, clearer communication from your spirit guides, along with the exercises we will discuss in a moment. This will help to create a better communication system for you, a better receiving system for you, a better transmission system for you with regard to your interactions with those in spirit, and also to allow you to begin to perceive, especially after open contact, more and more actual apparitions of spirit beings, so that your senses will have become sharper, more attuned to the higher frequency vibrations that will allow you to see spirit more and more as we do in our civilization. This will still grow over time, over the next decade or two, but at the end of that process, at the end of that exposure, at the end of experiencing that higher frequency by interacting with extraterrestrial beings who operate on that level, many people on your planet will begin not only to experience the idea of telepathic communication in the decades to come, but also interactions and clear communications and direct communications with spirit beings on many levels, even to the point of seeing them by honing your senses to be able to see what was heretofore invisible to you, because your senses were simply not attuned to it. So, let us begin with the idea now of some techniques to hone the skill of receiving and perceiving communications from the spirit realm, and to allow you to more clearly and more precisely pierce the veil between physical and non-physical reality. First and foremost, as has already been suggested, the idea of taking 15 quiet minutes, either in the morning or in the evening, whatever you prefer, sitting quietly with a journal and allowing yourself to begin just to open up and mentally ask questions of your spirit guides and allowing yourself to just write down whatever you get. Don't worry or wonder whether it's coming from your own mind. Don't wonder whether or not it's coming from your spirit team. Just write down whatever you get after you ask a question mentally in your mind, or even vocally if you wish, because that can create a stronger link, a stronger commitment to receiving information. So you can ask the question out loud and then just be quiet and relax and listen and feel. And whatever you receive, no matter how it may or may not make any sense, just write it down in the journal. By doing this every day, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, twice a day, quietly, with no other distractions, allow yourself to sit and ask those questions internally or out loud. Just write what you get. And over the course of about 2 to 3 weeks, you will find that the information you get and the feelings that you get, you will start writing down different things. You will start seeing more coherence, more relevance, more patterns in what you are writing. Again, don't stop to analyze and think about where you're getting it from or whether it makes any sense at all. Just keep writing down what you get. This is how you practice learning the discernment to tell the difference between your own thoughts and communications from your spirit team. You will get better at it over the course of those 2 to 3 weeks. You will start to be able to sense the difference. It will be subtle at first, but it will become more distinct. And as the information you receive that answers your questions will become clearer and more coherent, more understandable, you will start to realize that communication between you and your spirit team has always been going on, for there will be indications in the information you are getting and the information you are writing down in the journal that you have already been receiving information and communication from them, but simply haven't always recognized it for what it was. There will be indications in the information you will be getting through this technique that will point out how you have already been receiving information in a variety of ways through synchronicity and other methodologies. So you will start to recognize that as well in what it is you are receiving through this technique. So do it for 2 to 3 weeks, see what you get, and there will be adjustments and refinements that will also allow you to experience different kinds of information starting to come to you from different places in your spirit team, different beings. They will start to grow more complex, more clear, more precise, and cover a variety of things based on the questions that you ask. This again will allow you to really practice having a wide range, a spectrum of questions, a spectrum of communications on different topics, different subjects that are of interest to you, that you are interested in, passionate about. And again, do not judge them, do not analyze them. Don't worry if they don't make sense at first. Just write them down, keep writing them down. And at the end of this process, in about 3 weeks to a month, when you start looking back in the journal and look at the progression of what you got, you will really start to see a progressive pattern. You will start to see a difference in how you write down what it is you're getting. You will start to see more clarity, and you may even start to be able to sense more specifically where it might be coming from. We will see. That's not necessarily critical, but it may occur. You may also be surprised to find that as you do this, you may even start receiving communications from animals on your planet in various places around the world. You may start receiving communications from elemental beings on your planet, no matter where they may be located. So just be open to receiving communications at first. Don't try to label them. Don't try to judge them or analyze them. Don't try to make sense out of them. Just write down whatever you get, whatever your imagination feels it needs to write. Whether it is something quick, a single word, whether it is a sentence, an entire paragraph, doesn't matter. Just write. whatever comes into your mind. This will hone your skills over time. You will get better at it if you are earnest, and if you ask your questions that are important to you, and if you stay in these quiet 15-minute segments morning and night, you will find that you will improve. You will hone your skills. You will hone your sensitivity. And you will find that it will make more and more sense as you go along. And you may receive very valuable information for your life path. You may gain more insights into your own self, into your life path and the challenges you have set before you. You may receive information that will truly guide you, truly illuminate you, and truly make you clearer even to yourself about what you have chosen and why you have chosen to be physical at this time, and how it is you can also recognize more and more clearly how you can be of service to humanity overall. Now, that's one technique. Another technique can be that when you are immersed in comfortable, warm water, whether you are in a bath, whether you're in a pool, whether you're in a hot spring, whether you're in a shower, doesn't matter. Immersion in water in some way, shape, or form can also open up many different avenues of psychic ability, telepathic functioning, and receiving communications from spirit. Again, it can enhance the idea of the process that we have already described. If you wish to also journal in this kind of an environment, although we wouldn't necessarily recommend it in the shower, but in a bath, in a pool, it can be done where you can also use that technique of water immersion to journal as well and see what you get. But if you wish to stand in a shower that is warm and comforting and relaxing, then even without the journal, you can ask your questions and again, be silent, be calm, just see what you get. Many times you will find that your showers are like meditation chambers, and that you can actually be quite open and quite able to receive communications very clearly over time when you practice in the shower, being quiet, being calm, and just asking your questions and just opening up and seeing what you get. Again, no judgment, no analyzation. It may be nonsensical at first. But this kind of an environment, immersion in water, whether a pool, a pond, a hot spring, shower, a tub, will relax you, will open you up, will get your analytical mind out of the way. Just relax into it, just melt into the water. Just feel yourself melting and dissolving into the warm water. This can add an extra enhancement ability for your ability to perceive what it is that your spirit team may be sending you, or whoever it is that may be involved in communicating with you during these exercises. Of course, there is always the idea of traditional meditation, yogic practices, breathing exercises that can also put you in a similar state. Whatever it is that you are attracted to, whatever it is that works for you, use it. But you can start simply, as we have already described, just by sitting in your favorite chair, sitting on a couch, lying down if you wish, as long as you are comfortable journaling in that position. And just for 15 minutes, being quiet, ask your question, and see what you get. Practice this for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month. You will notice a difference. You will notice a progression. You will notice a pattern. You will notice improvements. And this can start you on your way. And if you want to keep going and keep doing it, that's fine. If this becomes a technique that works for you and you want to keep using it, absolutely. We're simply saying that in general, for most humans on your planet, in terms of how your physical minds work, 2 to 3 weeks is sufficient. A month is sufficient for you to gain more ability, more technique, more skill at receiving communications from your spirit team by doing these kinds of techniques. We will talk about other more advanced techniques at another time. But for now, we would encourage you to begin with this. If you really wish to open up a line of communication between you and your spirit team. We thank you for allowing us to share this idea with you, and in return for the gift you have given to us in allowing us to interact with all of you, I ask, how may we continue to be of service? Please begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Hello, Bashar. Have a good day. So my question for you is, if it is possible for us to shift from our reality to a parallel reality where everything is different, where people have made different choices, where life is completely different in just a spark of a moment because we shifted our mindset and what we feel that everything means.
No, not really. Even though you're shifting to different parallel realities all the time, they all have to simply be relevant to the life path your soul laid out and the challenges you laid out on that life path that are important for your soul's growth to face. So you will never shift to another reality that is so different it will void what your soul originally chose to experience on its life path. Only to those parallel realities that have a degree of relevance for the experiences you laid out. When you then go back to spirit and choose something completely different, then yes, you can choose something completely different. But once you have decided what the life path is, what the challenges are, in that specific life, the soul will play that out, and all the shifts will have to have relevance for that particular life path. We can almost hear the person asking, but what if a complete change is one of the things that I laid out on my life path? The idea, again, is that you have to remember that all life paths are intertwined. And if there is, for some reason, which would be relatively rare, a reason why you would shift so radically to a different reality, it would still have to be part of the life path that is intertwined with other life paths, that they would get to experience that shift in you. So that would only be still on the life path you had chosen as an example in service to others. So it's not like you would actually leave the reality to something completely different, because there would be purpose to making such a radical shift for other people to also witness it. And therefore you would still be, in a sense, in a similar reality that is still relevant to being able to demonstrate to someone like an advanced master certain things that would represent radical shifts in reality, but are still a part of the life path so that other people can take advantage of learning from it.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today.
As do we.
So about 11 years ago, I believe I had SSani contact as part of an experience that I had on higher levels of consciousness. I was called to look out the window, and I believe that I saw one of the pods with the 3 lights, and I was shown a glimpse for about 30 seconds of another life where I had been an extraterrestrial warrior in a battle against a kind of a dark force, and had sacrificed myself in for the righteous cause. And that was about all that I saw of that glimpse.
That's an ancient Orion connection.
Sorry, can you say that again?
An ancient Orion connection. In the ancient Orion systems, long, long ago, where there was a lot of suppression and a lot of resistance.
And so I share an oversoul with a being who was involved with that?
Yes, you can, again, in colloquial language, consider it to be one of your past lives. But yes, you have an energetic connection to that situation. It's one of the stories that is playing out on Earth, one of the stories that can finish in a more positive way.
Is there any, can you elaborate on that?
There are many stories being played out on Earth. Stories of ancient Orion themes, stories of the Martian civilization that was destroyed, stories of ancient Atlantis that was destroyed. It is a melting pot of different stories from different places and different times that are all now playing out simultaneously on Earth, seeking a more positive outcome to these stories, an amalgamation of humanity moving forward with a more positive effect and a more positive outcome.
Mm-hmm. And so in my life and in my overcomings of fears, how does that relate? How does the overcoming of fear relate to those stories being played out?
It is the technique that you use in order to make sure that you will experience those stories coming to a more positive conclusion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so my purpose in life as a musician, my goal with getting my music out there is to enliven the collective consciousness, to raise people's vibrations.
Yes.
And
to share what it is that you have to give in service to humanity so that others can also utilize your gifts to help themselves raise their vibrations as well. This is how people serve. This is how you serve the whole so the whole can serve you. By sharing of your gifts, by letting people exposed to your gifts have the opportunity to see that through those gifts, they can also raise their own vibrations and discover more and express more of who they truly are as a soul.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I sometimes still find it, challenging to rise above some tough circumstances. I have so much that I'm grateful for, that things went as well as they did so far, that I have a wonderful daughter.
All right, but remember, you laid out all these challenges on your life path as a soul, and if you face every challenge with calmness, confidence, curiosity, and creativity, you will always get a benefit out of it. You will understand that every challenge is for the purpose of your soul's growth, to stretch you in ways that you determined were necessary for the expansion of your consciousness. So if you face them in the way that we just described, it will always provide a benefit and an evolution upwards for you. Always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I was shown that glimpse of the Orion connection, would you say the act of sacrifice, could that be measured as a reason that I was given this circumstance where I was shown ahead of time how I could optimize my life by making choices? Was it kind of an exchange, or is that kind of an irrelevant assumption?
It's a lesson in making choices that don't require a sacrifice. It's understanding how to make different kinds of choices that are more positively constructed and for the benefit not only of yourself but for others as well, but not through the necessary idea in the past of sacrifice. There are other pathways that are now available to all of you, and to learn those pathways and to act on them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So as for the music, it used to feel that it was kind of my sanctity and my expression of love for a particular person, and now the way that I describe that, I feel is my purpose to help people.
Yes.
So I'm facing my everyday with those 4 C's and following the passion principle, but I do have some unpleasant real life things that I'm going to have to be dealing with.
Why are they unpleasant? Why are you defining them that way instead of facing them as the challenges in the way that we just described?
That's I don't have to consider them as unpleasant.
No, you don't. I understand there may be certain things you will encounter that you recognize as vibrationally incompatible with what you prefer. And if you want to say that that translates into the sensation of unpleasantness, then that's simply a momentary recognition that they are out of alignment with who you prefer to be and what you prefer in your life. And having that recognition for a moment is fine as an identification mechanism, but you don't have to wallow in the idea of it being vibrationally incompatible so that the sensation of unpleasantness continues throughout the experience. The idea is to recognize it is not vibrationally compatible with you, and therefore to find the way to move through the challenge in a way that works for you, to find the path that works for you, to find the path that is vibrationally in line with who you prefer to be and how you prefer to handle things. So you can use the idea you call unpleasantness as an instantaneous recognition identification system, but don't let it linger, don't wallow in it, use it.
Yeah, I suppose as an empathic person, you know, feeling other people's struggles and feeling their pain, I've grown accustomed to the absorption of these, rather than just a recognition of something being vibrationally incompatible. I kind of take it on a little bit too much. And
all right. Well, you can just identify enough so that you understand what it is that someone may be going through, so that you can have the compassion to help them if appropriate, but you don't have to take it on yourself to any great depth. You already understand from your own experiences and your own lives what it is that they may be going through. With a momentary identification, you can understand it, and then focus yourself in how it is that you might be able to best help them, if they are willing to accept the help, to change that vibration for themselves. You don't have to, again, wallow in it.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, Bashar.
Aveo.